Just a moment. I'm testing. Yeah, the do you hear me? That's how I start every live stream now. Do you hear me? Still not figured out Streamlabs, but hey, here I am. Happy Taco Friday, everyone. How are you doing? How are you doing? Everyone good? Hi, Rochello. Glad you joined. Hi, Wisdom Toot. Nice to have you in the stream. So, first of all, we've got some big updates. Yes, there are things happening. It's awesome. So, first of all, we've got a new Discord channel. So, we are on Discord. We're officially on Discord, and it's amazing. So, yeah, I'm just going to show it real quick, because why not? Yeah, there we are. I chose to just make a really simple, easy Discord community. So basically, it's just one channel, it's just chat. So everyone can join in. I sound very mellow. Okay, let's see if there's anything I can do about that. Headset, microphone, done. Properties. Test. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we got a Discord server. It's just like a chat. So anyone can join in. It's free to use. It's awesome. So yeah, we'll be sharing updates and news there. And yeah, it's a good way to just interact and share your thoughts and ideas and to catch up with other people from the community. So yeah, you're all welcome to look at that. And I hope you're going to enjoy it. So I only made one chat for now. Maybe I'll add more later, but I'm trying to keep this thing clean. I want it to be just easy to use for everyone. I don't want to overwhelm you guys. Calm. Oh, mellow, good. Oh, that's great. Well, perfect. Well, I'm glad. Glad that you're all here. So today we're just doing an Ask Me Anything live stream. So yeah, you can ask me basically anything. Basically anything. There are limits. You cannot ask me everything. Uh, well, you can ask me anything, but I might not always answer. I'm gonna try to answer. Um, I try to be open with myself. So yeah, don't be shy. Let me know what you're thinking about. Uh, while I'm waiting for the questions, I'm also gonna show you all what I've been working on. So you can see here in the background, like this edit screen. I'm just gonna first of all show you that yeah, there's been some updates on the website because I've been on I have vacation finally. I've had some time to just update the website, organize it a bit. So now when you go to my website, you can see my latest posts. You can look at the different personality types. I made some graphics. This is the ENFP one. This is INFP one. This is the INFJ one, the ENFJ one, the INTJ1, the ENTP1, ENTJ Pirate, the INTP, the ESTP, the ISTP, the ISTJ, and ESTJ. Finally, the ESFJ, the ISFJ, ESFP, and the ISFP. So these are just adorable. I just love them. They're yeah, super cute. So I thought I'd use them for the different types. I also made some basic quick facts. You know, Just going over some basic things for everyone. Okay, what is extroversion? Yeah, it's taking action. It's not wanting to wait. It's preferring to make things happen. Introversion, what's that? Patience, taking things slowly and steadily, taking a step-by-step approach to problems. Yeah, that's just how I use it. I try to just keep it a bit simple. So yeah, that's how I go about it. Intuition, need towards creativity, creative expression, change, originality, freedom. Sensing, presence, action, experience, rich, busy lives, focused on experience. Thinking, enjoying disagreement, critical thinking, systematic thinking. Uh, Feeling, valuing, cooperation, agreement, harmony. Judging, goals, leadership, organization, perceiving, freedom, change, and adaptability. Finally, assertiveness, optimism, positivity, confidence, turbulence, negativity, uncertainty, self doubt. Finally, I also have some cognitive function stuff on there, and I have some Enneagram stuff on there. So, yeah, it's just it's really becoming a nice place to just explore and just read content on the different types and on the different traits and the different cognitive functions. So it's getting more and more accessible, and more easy to follow. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. Uh, will we see more content about Enneagram also? Um, Not my current priority, but probably eventually. Like I could easily put some time on it later. But I already do have already articles on all the Enneagram types. So yeah, if you just go to the bottom here, yeah, I have all of them written down. I have 8, 9, 1, the 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7. So they're all in there, so you can start exploring that as well if you're into it. Uh, Articles are pretty basic. I talk a little bit about 9 wing 8, 9 wing 1. Yeah, just explaining how they work and just how I see them. So if you like it. Trevor says, I'm an ENFP and my XBF is an INFJ, so I know you guys well. Cool. Well, I hope you like me. I hope you like INFJs. Well, can you talk about, KK asks, can you talk about why different types will stay in a bad relationship and how to avoid it? Oh, yeah, that's a big one. It's a very open one. What personality type are you? Maybe you could let me know if you have a specific type you're curious about. But just general psychology, why do people stay in bad relationships? I think because even a bad relationship or uncomfortable situation has its comfort. There is like a comfort in um, knowing that you have uncomfort. Sometimes people prefer certainty, even if it's certainty about something that you don't like or certainty that you about some situation you don't enjoy, over uncertainty about a breakup, moving on, trying out something new, and moving forward. So a lot of people are probably afraid of uh, thinking outside the box or just imagining themselves without the partner or imagining themselves alone. And I think that's what gets a lot of people to choose to stay with a bad partner. Bethany asks, where are you on the assertiveness scale? Is this dimension the same as the other four? Well, assertiveness is much more fluid than any of the other scales. So while you are most likely going to be an introvert for the majority of your life, you're not going to change your type. Assertiveness is something you can develop. I consider myself more on the assertiveness scale. However, I have just been going through a breakup and I am moving to a new apartment and I started a new job. So there's a lot of changes in my life. So I think also assertiveness and how you stand on that can reflect your mood and your current situation. So obviously, because I have all those things happening in my life, I am a little bit more chaotic, a little bit more turbulent, a little bit more moody, and yeah, I'm not always as positive or cheery as I can be normally. So, yeah, But I would say that overall I am fairly high on the assertiveness scale. I feel like I made a lot of progress on the assertiveness scale over the years. I know that when I just 5 years ago, I was a lot more insecure about myself and a lot more uncertain about who I was. And yeah, I noticed that change because I also talked to some friends lately, and they also say the same, that I seem a lot more confident now, that yeah, I seem a lot more secure in myself. And yeah, I'm glad that they see that. I see that too. I'm curious about, for an INFJ, I'm an ENTP. So why would an INFJ stay in a bad relationship? Uh, I guess you're an ENTP and you know an INFJ that is in a bad relationship and you're trying to figure out their line of reasoning. I think for an INFJ, it's possible that INFJs stare themselves too blind on this one thing. You know, they imagine themselves in a future for themselves, and they get very set on it, and they just cannot think about or open themselves to anything outside of that. And they just uh, give themselves 100% to that. And yeah, I think INFJs are very loyal people. I think INFJs and ENFPs are a bit similar in this regard. I'm noticing that ENFPs also have a habit of, you know, really pouring their heart into something and just giving it all for something. And I see that's why I made my last video about ENFPs. That they can really they really want to work hard to try all options to see if they can make it work, what they can do, and how can they can fix the situation for the better. Thank you, Mimi. Yeah, it will be okay. Yeah, it's still, it was some time ago, so I've gotten some time to process it, and I know that it was a mutual decision and it was for the best. And yeah, I've got a new apartment. I'll be moving in next week. So yeah, I only know that because of that. Yeah, I need you guys more. Uh, because of everything that's happening in my life, I just know how much I need my community and how much I need you guys and how important you all are to me. So that's also why I started a Discord server now, because yeah, it's a way for me to get in touch with people. Like, I remember that before my relationship, I was kind of isolated. I was really much in my own head, and I went into this lifestyle where I was happy and content being alone. And honestly, I think it's good to be content being alone and to be fine being alone. And I'm still fine being alone. Like, I'm good and I enjoy my own company and I can have fun by myself. I can travel to another country by myself. I can live for myself. I've always been able to do that. But I do know that isolation is never good. And it's not good to get too much in your own head. And it's good to have a community and people around you. So yeah, I'm gonna make an effort to stay connected to people and to uh, catch up with friends. And yeah, I'm also open to do more community things, more live streams, but also more meetups in Amsterdam. So if you're in Amsterdam, uh, we're probably gonna do some MBTI meetups on meetup.com. So check out the MBTI meetup group in Amsterdam or in the Netherlands, and you should be able to join up for a meetup in the coming month. And yeah, I hope that will be fun too. So yeah, I'll try to do things like that to also connect with people. And what was it I was gonna say? I did not make those characters. I paid for them. So they're an icon pack you pay for online. And I adjusted them a little bit just to make them a bit fit with the colors and themes that I'm using a lot of time. But they're pretty close to the original. I might do more with them later. You can make animations with those SVGs, so that could be quite cool. Thanks, Wisdom Tooth. I appreciate it. So, yeah, what I was gonna do today is I'm gonna be reworking the personality test a bit. Like I do try to update the personality test once every 12 months or something, and I updated the test last in December 2020. So it's time that I start updating it again. So I'm gonna be working through the questions and writing new questions. And so yeah. Um, this is the new personnel test. As you see, it has already had a new visual update. It used to say strongly agree and strongly disagree. And I had some issues with positioning here. So like the numbers were not correctly in the middle. The thumbs up button was a bit up and a bit down. So I had some issues getting this working perfectly. But I had help of Becca, an ENFP that just went through the code and was like, Erik, you missed this. You should have put that one in there. And so that was really nice. Thanks, Becca, for that. Uh, Now I'm going to be rewriting the questions and yeah, just showing you a bit. Maybe you can think of some good questions as well. Maybe you have an idea of how you would do it. So starting with this question, this is just I'm good at understanding my own needs and feelings. This is meant to be for introverted and feeling types. So anyone who is introverted and anyone who is feeling is going to say yes to that more often than an extroverted thinking type would. A lot of extroverted thinking types, they uh, make a lot of decisions, they do a lot, but a lot of time they tend to say that they don't really have a good understanding or awareness of themselves. So they struggle to know what they want in life. They often feel uncertain about what they want to do. Uh, Often what I see with IFs is we spend so much time introspecting and thinking about what it is we want. So yeah, I'm not 100% happy with this question. I feel like it's not that uh, IFs are necessarily good at understanding their own needs and feelings, but that they spend a lot of time thinking about it and processing it. So I would probably rewrite this question to be more something like I enjoy reflecting on my own needs and feelings. So this is something I think a lot of INFPs and ISFPs and INFJs would say yeah to. And we have this FI question, but that's actually for ENFJs and ESFJs and so on. So these types, they tend to have this bit flipped. Um, so if you look at this, yeah, um, extroverts. Yeah, extroverts, they disagree with the first statement, but tend to agree with the second statement. Extroverts are generally better at spotting others' needs and feelings, and feeling types are generally better at uh, both of these activities. So any feeling type is likely to slightly agree with this or to agree with both statements because that's, yeah, generally something the feeling types do better. So I'm good at spotting others' needs and feelings. Typically, that one has the same problem as the first one. So I would probably do I enjoy asking questions about other people's needs and feelings. Yes, those are the kind of rewrites I'm kind of looking to make with the tests because I do see that those questions tend to get better answers than the other ones. Yeah, this test is already available. So yeah, you can see it already at the erikthor.com/test/personality test. But I'm planning to update it, so you can always come back next week maybe or something like that and give it another go to see if you get the same type. Hey Melodious, glad to have you here. You're still mod, so use that wisely. I'm an effective project manager. That's a fun one. I'm an effective project manager. What's that one about? Yeah, so extroverts tend to say, yeah, they're good at project management. Introverts tend to say, no. Feeling types, they tend to say, nah. And judging types tend to say, yeah. So I think you're starting to understand the logic of my test a little bit more. Basically, I'm giving points. Every question gives points to certain types. So all introverts get points from all introverted questions. All intuitives get points from all intuitive questions they agree with. All feeling types get a result based on all feeling types they agree with. Uh, so it's not like a normal test where it's always like a question that only asks like, are you introverted or extroverted? Uh, Now, why do I build it like this? Like, if you look at, say, a 16 personalities test, you regularly make new friends. So, if you're an extrovert, you agree with this. If you're an introvert, you disagree with it. 16 personalities writes one question, and this is only extroversion. And it only measures for extroversion. So its only goal is to see, are you extroverted or not? My questions, they try to measure for multiple things at the same time. Typically, like extroversion, it's very hard to write a question that only tests for extroversion because no person is a true or pure extrovert. Like there are extroverts that enjoy and regularly make new friends, sure, but there is also extroverts that don't do this. So I try to write questions that cover for all angles, and I try to see, okay, is it an extroverted feeler or is it an extroverted thinker? Like you can see with my test is actually a cognitive function test. So if you look at it, the question, I'm an effective project manager, it gives an introverted feeling score. So it measures for introverted feeling against extroverted thinking. So I'm an effective project manager. That basically means if you enjoy that, you usually have extroverted thinking. And if you don't, you usually have introverted feeling. So it's a cognitive function test and personality test in one. So that's why my test is a bit different. That's why when you take my personality test, you also get the cognitive function score, not just the personality score, but you also get a cognitive function score. So it's very different. Fair enough. I have extroverted thinking, but I still don't fancy managing people. Well, project management. I did not mean for or tend to be about managing people in a project, more about managing and implementing a project in itself. So it can be the point of strategizing on a project, or it can be the point of getting a team to work together on a project. So it can be like ESTJ style, just making sure everyone is doing what they're doing, but it can also be INTJ style, just coming up with a project from scratch or a concept or an idea and thinking about, okay, what do I need to do to make this happen? Even if it's by yourself or if it's uh, with other people. So my question doesn't actually mention managing people in a project. At least that's not my intention. But you see how difficult it is to write questions for a personality test. You'll get INTJs that get this question, I'm an effective project manager, and immediately they think, okay, so an effective project manager is somebody that leads and supervises people. I'm not, so I'm not going to agree with this. That's not my intention. So it's very hard to predict how people will interpret a question. I see some people when they write personnel tests, they make it really long. So they'll write the question like, I am good at understanding my own needs and feelings instead of dealing with or taking action firsthand. And they'll write a really long statement like this. Now, their problem is most people cannot follow a question like that. It's so long, so immediately people get lost. When you put multiple statements in one question, so um, and I'm good at this and this and this. People go like, I'm good at that, but not that, and then people get lost, and then the whole question fails. So questions can't be too long because it basically means people lose concentration and focus, and they get confused. So uh, you can't solve the issue of misinterpretation by making questions longer. You have to keep them short and sweet, simple. They have to focus on one or two things max, preferably just like one specific thing, one specific activity. And you have to make it as clear as possible, really avoid people misinterpreting things. Bethany says, I would probably put medium on some of those questions. I guess that would still work. Yes. There's no problem saying slightly agree or somewhat agree on most questions. It doesn't have to be a problem at all. Uh, so, yeah, you don't have to worry about that. I tend to say it's better to try to make a strong statement. So, if you agree with something, choose strongly agree. Uh, if you can, like try to make a stronger statement if you feel a stronger preference for something. Because if you make a stronger statement, it's usually easier to get a clear result. So if you're always praising in the middle, yeah, it can sometimes mean that you get a broken result. Maybe you end up getting 50-50 on everything. And yeah, you can't really say what type you got or if you got the right type or not. So it's better to try to take a position, but just choosing agree is also fine. You don't have to choose strongly agree, but just instead of slightly agree or slightly disagree and everything, try to make a statement on some things. Now, the thing is, uh, most people are in the middle on most things. Most people have some values that are super important. So here's me. I'm going to say I'm good at imagining a concept or idea, strongly agree. I'm talented at understanding numbers and data, sure, somewhat agree. Uh, I'm an effective project manager, slightly disagree. So here you see it. I have a strong preference on intuition, but a small preference on thinking. Here I'd say I'm good at understanding my own needs and feelings. Here I'd say um, somewhere in the middle, but more on the positive end. And here I'd say better. So here I'd have a smaller preference for extroverted feeling than introverted feeling. Most INFJs have a smaller preference for extroverted feeling than introverted feeling. Not a big preference. Usually INFJs, they are doubly feeling, so we tend to have some FI and some FE. I find it easy to come up with changes and new ideas. Here I'd go on the disagree end. So here you see this big contrast here when it comes to NI versus NE for me. I can say that I'm good at imagining a concept or idea, which is an NI activity, but coming up with changes and new ideas, usually I get stuck. I come up with one idea and then I'm done. One idea, one change, and then it's good. So that's usually how I work through things. I work with NI rather than NE. I choose or make up my mind and then I stop thinking about new options and possibilities. Yeah, if you get some yes answers, like you should have probably on average like 4 to 8 uh, strongly agree or disagree statements. That's all good. That's perfect. That's how it's supposed to be. So you're both thinking of us about managing people. That probably means that's not a good question. So probably I should change that one. Probably that one has unintended consequences. I enjoy planning a project. Now, the question is slightly more introverted. I'm afraid a bit too introverted. So now suddenly all ESTJs and ENTJs would start dropping off a bit. Like, yeah, I enjoy it, but I prefer to go to action. So this is a tricky one. Mm, then you get, I enjoy executing a project. Executing is a bit more abstract. So I'm afraid that some people might find it a bit too abstract. Like, what do you mean with executing a project? Um, so you might have some drop off there. I enjoy I enjoy coming up with a structure for a project. I enjoy structuring a project. I think I like that one. But maybe instead of structuring, I enjoy organizing a project. Now it's kind of implicit by myself or for other people. I just enjoy organizing it. Yeah, I think introverts would also say, yeah, sure. So I think that's kind of where I would go with that one. Planning and executing a project. Yeah, you can solve it like that. I think that's a pretty good way to solve it. I try to avoid putting X and X because yeah, you get a drop off there. You get some people that say I enjoy planning it, but I don't enjoy executing it. Like there you get the INTJ. INTJs, they enjoy planning a project, but most of the time they're like, yeah, actually making it happen. No, no, not for me. So that's not ideal. I'm talented at understanding numbers and data. Honestly, I hate this question. Why did I write this? Um, you know what I'm gonna do for TI? I enjoy coming up with critical feedback. Yeah, Bethany knows it. But yeah, that's how I'm gonna be going through the personnel test. Just question by question, like how does it work? By the way, I'm gonna rate this test 5 stars, very neutrally. But for me, it's definitely a 5 star, right? Right? Maybe that's just me. Managing, finishing, completing, leading. Yeah, you can add as many synonyms as you like. Completing a project, that's a good one, I think. But I think a lot of uh, the problem with completing is you get even an INFP would say yes to that. An INFP would be like, yeah, I enjoy completing it because then it's done and then it's gone and then I don't have to do it anymore. Uh, Leading, that's a good one. But once again, I think introverts might not enjoy the managing people part of it. Finishing, same as completing. Managing, yeah, that's fair. Catching stars, I prefer the planning of the project over the executing part. Yeah, I think a lot of INTJs and similar types might say it. I don't know what type you are, but yeah. Honestly, I prefer planning a project over executing it as well as an INFJ. But I think that's also because I'm an introvert. I'm good at imagining a concept or idea. Honestly, I still like this one. That's for introverted intuition. I still like that one. NI is very visual. I think we're visual first and literal later. So actually explaining it or rationalizing or coming up with exactly how it works or so on, that's second. The first is just coming up with the concept itself. And then the second is just explaining it and how does it work and how does it connect to people. Uh, so I still like this one. And I still like the NE question. Overall, it's easy for me to write these questions. I find it easy to come up with changes and new ideas. I think most ENFPs and ENTPs would say yeah with this one, for sure. Even ENFJs and ENTJs might agree with this one slightly. I find it easy to speak in front of a group. That's a tricky one. Speak in front of a group. Number 7. Extroverts enjoy this one. Um, Sensing types enjoy this one. And perceiving types enjoy this one. So, yeah, if you're an extrovert, a sensor, and a perceiving type, yeah, this question is for you. NI, not so much. SE, quite a lot. I find it easy to speak in front of a group, and that's the tricky one. Accidentally pressed refresh. Honestly, I think I'm going the wrong route with that one. Um, I'm afraid I made a mistake on that one, so I think that one might cause some incorrect results. Finding it easy to speak in front of a group. What am I trying to do here? I'm trying to do an extroverted sensing question. I'm trying to, get an archetype of the performer and people that are outgoing and open with themselves, like extroverted sensing types are. And I'm trying to anti-relate it to an items that tend to keep to themselves and so on. So, but I think this one, I'm afraid it's not. This is not the way to go. Cool. Yeah, I think that's catching stars. I think that's why, because you're an ENFP, you're an intuitive dominant. So intuitive dominants tend to go more enjoy the conceptual aspects more than the practical aspects. And I think the executing part is more practical. So I get that. New group of people are the people we knew before. Yeah, it's like I said, I'm not happy with this question at all. So, hmm, how can you measure for extroverted sensing here? I enjoy a fast-paced action. Uh, I enjoy spontaneous action. Fast-paced, spontaneous action. I think there you get the good extroverted sensing question. I can speak in front of a group because those situations tend to be structured. What I don't like is free-form party mingling. Yeah, it's the same. Well, I am technically speaking in front of a group right now, right? And I think a lot of INJs do that. So I think that question was really not good. So it's definitely good to change that one. I enjoy experiencing life surrounded by people. I like that one. It's a good one. Good grief, I don't enjoy fast-paced spontaneous action. No, me right, me neither, right? Making experiences and memories with people. That's a bit more, yeah, I think anyone would say yes to that one. Um, I mean, yeah, isn't that what life is about? Making experiences, memories, yeah, connecting with people. Yeah, isn't that something just all types want? Yeah, I like the one that you had, Cello, but I think I will use the one that I came up with and then. But I think it's pretty good actually. I enjoy experiencing life surrounded by people. I think it has potential. So I think that's not a terrible one. Um, yeah. Anyways, that's what I'm planning to do later. Gonna go through all the questions. So thank you guys for helping with this for a little bit. This was just a short stream. Just letting you all know I'm on my way back to Amsterdam. I've been in Sweden for 3 weeks. I'll be back in Amsterdam tomorrow, and I'll be moving in next week. So I expect to have a lot of time to live stream and to do more community stuff. So yeah, big things will be happening. Uh, for everyone who just came in, thank you guys for joining in for the stream. And I'm going to share the Discord link again. So everyone just join in on Discord. And if you have any more questions for me, always just tag me there and send me a message, or visit my Patreon page, patreon.com/Erik Thor. I hope you guys will have a nice evening, and yeah, take care.